Hey guys, Jonathan Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing X-Men 2. Now, X-Men 2 is once again directed by Bryan Singer and features a big cast of Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Brian Coy, Famke Janssen, Alan Cumming, Shawn Ashmore, Anna Paquin, Aaron Stanford, Halle Berry, James Marsden, Rebecca Romijn, Kelly Hu, Michael Ray McKay, and Keely Purvis. So, the plot of X-Men 2 is that, we start off with Wolverine, Logan. Professor X sent him on a mission to go look for something that was in Alkali Lake. And so he goes in there, but he can't find it. Like, there's nothing there. Like, Alkali Lake is completely dead. So, yeah. And so he just goes back, and then, like, everyone's really glad to see him and all of that. So, yeah. And then, like, they get news that, like, there was a mutant that attacked the White House. And so Jean and Storm have to go find this mutant. So that's what they're doing. And then Professor and Logan just have to stay. So yeah, but while they stay, like this whole like group of what looks like military people, but they're not. Like, they're not military at all. Like, there's these people that they look like the SWAT, but they're not really SWAT either. But like, yeah, they go in there, they attack the house, and they capture all the mutants. Like, they capture all the little children in there. And they capture them, and they keep them hostage in Stryker's fortress. So yeah, because like all these men are guarded by Stryker. Like, Stryker's in charge of all these men. So yeah, and so what Stryker wants to do is just take the children and take Professor X, and he. So, what his plan is that what he really hates mutants. Like, Stryker really hates mutants. Like, he hates them a lot. He really hates them, and he wants to kill all of them. He literally wants to kill all of them. He hates them so much that he keeps them hostage, and he tortures them. So, yeah. So, he really hates mutants, and so his plan is to capture Professor X and have him use a Cerebro of his own. Now, Cerebro is what Professor X uses to find people with his telepathy, like mutants and people. He can find people, like he can track down people with Cerebro, and he can talk to them through it. So yeah, but Stryker wants to use Cerebro as a weapon. Like, he wants to use it for bad. Like, he wants to use it as a weapon to kill other people. So yeah, so he wants to take Charles, because Charles knows about Cerebro, and he wants to take him, make a Cerebro of his own, and corrupt Charles to kill all the mutants. So yeah, he's gonna make Charles like go inside all the mutants' head and kill them. So yeah, that's what he wants to do. So yeah, and then like Stryker, yeah, that's Stryker's whole plan. And Stryker, Logan, he knows about Logan. Like, he knows where Logan came from. Like, Logan does not know where he came from. Like, he does not know how he has his adamantium and all of that. He does not know where he came from at all. But Stryker knows where Logan came from. Like, he knows how he got his adamantium. He knows where he was born. He knows like a lot about him. Like, he knows everything about him. So yeah, but like Logan, like, he's thinking that this dude looks familiar and all of that. And then like he's even getting like these crazy flashbacks of like when he first got his adamantium. So yeah, so Stryker knows all about him. That really makes him like almost tempt Logan. So yeah, but like Logan keeps refusing. He's like, no, I'm not going with you. So yeah, but once when Stryker attacks the house, only a couple kids escape alive, and that's all of them are still alive, but none of them die actually. But yeah, just a couple of them were able to escape, and that was Logan, Rogue, Iceman, and Pyro. So yeah, they escape in Cyclops' car, and then right from there, they just go hiding, and then like they try to contact Jean and Storm. So yeah. And then we go to Magneto, which Magneto's in this movie too. Magneto is not really the villain in this movie. Stryker's more the villain. Magneto's more of like one of the heroes, so kinda. So yeah, he's kind of he plays the role of an anti-hero in this movie, but he's still a little evil. So yeah. Yeah, but like, yeah, we follow with him, and he's been like he's been like in prison. Like, he's been in this like plastic prison since the events of the first X-Men. So he's been in this plastic prison, and like yeah, so just this plastic prison, so he won't be able to get out with controlling metal. So yeah, he's just been staying there, and yeah, he's just been staying there, and like Stryker comes in and like tortures him and like burns his neck, because like there's like these circles on their neck that he uses to burn them, to torture them. So yeah. Yeah, and then like Magneto hears about this news that Stryker wants to kill all the mutants, and so that makes him like want to go up and escape the prison, and so he does by like taking out all the metal of the one of the prison soldiers. So yeah, he takes the metal out of him, and he's able to escape like that. He like uses the metal to like make like a circle, like a magnetic circle that he like stands on, and it makes him fly. So yeah, and then from there he escapes, and then like from there he runs into Logan and all of them, and he teams up with them, and he has Mystique with her too. Yeah, Mystique. Oh yeah, Mystique's in this movie too. Mystique is, I think, trying to do the same thing. Like Mystique didn't go to prison. Like she was able to escape. Like she was able to like trick the people that. In the first one, like she got injured, but she like turned into like this like soldier that got injured. So yeah, but like from there she's just been like hiding, and she's been she's been like undercover, and she's been like seeing like what these people know about Stryker and all of that, and so she can go to see where Stryker is at. So yeah, and then like she ends up running into Magneto. So yeah, let me think, is there anything else? So yeah, once they all form together, they want to go and stop Stryker with doing all this madness, with trying to kill all the mutants. So yeah, that's basically the whole plot of X-Men 2. Now, do I like X-Men 2? Yes, I love X-Men 2. This movie is better than the first one. It's actually much better than even better than the first one. So yeah, I love this one so much. This one, when I saw it, I was literally not blown away, but I was really amazed by it. Like, this movie is really dope. I love this movie. It's so dope. And yeah, I don't know if I like this more than X-Men First Class, but I definitely know this is on my top 3. So yeah, but I really love this one. This one is like just really cool, and yeah, it's just really cool. It has so much heartwarming stuff in it. It has so much cool action. Just a lot in here. So yeah. So let's get to the characters. The characters in this movie are really good, actually. The characters are much more emotional in this one than in the first one. Some of them even have much more of a story arc than in the first one. So yeah, all these characters get much stronger than in the first one. So yeah, and we see them go into dark places too, and that's really cool. So yeah. So we go to Logan. Logan was even better in this movie than he was in the first. I love him in this movie. He's really cool. So yeah, what Logan does is like he's like really having a hard time remembering from what he was, but like yeah, he's just having a really hard time remembering, and like he's really scared about it too. And so yeah, that was really emotional. So yeah, and like he's just really scared that he doesn't want to go and join Stryker. So yeah. And what else was I thinking? What else about Logan? Was there anything else about Logan I should say? Oh yeah, but Logan, like, you can tell, like, he wants to stop Stryker. Like, no matter what, he wants to stop Stryker. Like, he does not want all the mutants to die, and you can so tell that. So yeah. And is there anything else about Logan in this movie? Let me think. Yeah, just Logan. He has a lot of cool moments in here with the action, like the scene where the soldiers first break out, like, and one of them is like tackling him, and he just he just takes him off his grip, and he's like, "Ah," and then he like stabs him like right here, and he's like, "Ah." And that scene was really cool. And then from the back, you see Iceman a little like scared, and it's just amazing. So yeah, he definitely had a lot of cool moments in this movie. Is there anything else about Logan? Let me think. Is there anything else about him? Oh yeah, his relationship with Jean. In the first one, he had a crush on Jean, but here it improves. Like here, like it gets even better. Like his relationship with Jean just grows. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, in this movie, like he he continues to crush on Jean, and that was really cool. And they even fall in love one time in the movie too, and that was really cool. And their little love relationship was just really cool. So yeah, just so you know, this review will be spoiler free, so I won't get into any spoilers like deep. So so yeah. Is there anything else about Logan I should say? Yeah, and that was really cool seeing him stick with the kids too. Like, once he like leaves the house, like you can really tell he wants to go get Stryker and Professor. Like he wants to rescue the Professor. So yeah, and like you can tell he really cares for the children a lot. Like he does not want anything bad to happen to them, and that was really cool. Like he was really protective on them. So yeah, and like that was really cool. Just him being protective on the kids. So yeah, and is there anything else? Yeah, it was just it was just really cool. He had a lot of cool moments with the kids too, like the scene where like he drinks a soda in the house and then he sees it's a bit warm and he gives it to Iceman and Iceman just blows on it and makes it cold. So yeah, and that was a really cool moment. Is there anything else? Well, yeah, he had a lot of emotional moments with Rogue too, just like in the first one, but there wasn't as much as in the first one, but it was still really cool, all his moments with Rogue, so yeah. He didn't really have a lot of emotion with Pyro, but some of the scenes he was talking with him were still really cool. Is there anything else about Logan I should say? Yeah, he was just, his character was having a hard time remembering, was still really cool, like I said. Is there anything else? I think that's it, but like yeah, I think that's it for now. And then we go to Professor X. Now Professor X in this movie was really cool. So he quickly actually gets manipulated. So yeah, and like let me think. Yeah, but like in the beginning of the movie, Professor X was really sweet, and he was just like in the first one. But once he gets captured by Stryker, like he's trying really hard to resist it. Like he does not want to get corrupted. He does not want to pay attention to them wanting to kill all the mutants. So yeah, and then like this was really cool. Stryker brought his own son. His own son was a mutant, and that was really cool. What was I thinking? In case you guys could definitely tell, I'm filming this at a completely different time. Most of that has to do because like today's my mom's birthday and we went to go eat for dinner, and she made me dressing champion. Well, actually, I wanted to dress in champion actually. So yeah, but like she said, I can review it if I keep my champion clothes on. So yeah. So yeah, as I was talking about, yeah, Stryker brings in his son to manipulate him, and like, but like his son has like the same powers as Charles does. He has telepathy. So yeah, he has telepathy, and he has telepathy, and like he's able to go inside Charles' head and probably control him too. So yeah, but like all those scenes are really cool actually. They have a lot of emotion in it. Like, and like Stryker's son even takes on the form of a little girl inside Charles' head, so Charles could like pay attention to that little girl instead of Stryker's son. So yeah, cause like Stryker's son like did a little girl like a trick. So yeah, and that was really cool actually for him to take on the form of a little girl, and that little girl was actually really like you really like feel so much emotion with that. Like it really raises your anxiety seeing Stryker as the form of a little girl. So yeah, and Stryker's son was really clever with the form of a little girl. So yeah, and like yeah, just the little girl was just really cool. So yeah. Yeah, all those scenes were really cool actually. Like I love the scene where like Professor X, like he actually like in his mind is standing up from his wheelchair, and then like he's crying, and then he turns around and he's just like, Jason, stop it. And then yeah, that scene was really cool. So yeah, and Jason was the name of Stryker's son. Yeah. What was I thinking? Yeah, so yeah, it was just like him with Jason Stryker as the little girl throughout the whole movie, and yeah, once again really cool. So yeah, I think those might have been some of my favorite parts of the movie actually. So yeah. Yeah, and the actress that played that little girl, I thought did a really good job. So yeah, and yeah, I think all those scenes were just really cool, and like yeah, that really makes Charles get really manipulated. Like you don't know, I think you do, but I don't. like I think you don't know if he's actually, yeah, I think you know that like he's actually just doing this because he's being controlled and all of that, and he's just paying attention to a girl. So yeah, and that was really cool. I think he's mostly just being controlled. So yeah, uh, yeah. So those scenes were just really cool, like I said. So yeah, and then yeah, just Professor X, like he had a really cool thing in here. So yeah, and then we go to Magneto. Magneto was really cool in this movie. Like you can really tell, he does not want Stryker to kill other mutants. Like he loves mutants. Like he really loves mutants, and he really hates humans. So yeah, and you can really tell that Stryker is definitely one of the humans he really hates, and he really wants his kind to survive. Like he really loves his kind, and you can so tell that. So yeah, and you can so tell he just wants to do good just for a little bit, just for this human not to kill all the mutants. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, just was a really clever idea to have the bad guy in the first one be the good guy now. So yeah, that was just really cool, and he had a lot of great line delivery. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too, a lot of the characters, again, just like in the first one, had such great line delivery. So yeah, I think that's a really big positive about the original X-Men trilogy. Even The Last Stand still had a lot of great dialogue. Like all these movies have such good dialogue. So yeah, just a lot of good line delivery. So yeah, that's a really big positive about all these movies. So yeah, just yeah, in this movie, Logan and Charles still had a lot of clever line delivery, especially Charles with the little girl. So yeah, and then yeah, Magneto still has plenty of really good line delivery. So yeah, and he's the same as he was in the first, just not a bad guy. So yeah, he's just really clever and all of that. He's really wise, and so yeah, he was just really cool. So yeah, and all the scenes with him in action are really cool too. So yeah, let me sing. And then there's Stryker. Stryker was actually a really cool villain in this movie. Yeah, Stryker was more, I think, a little more evil than Magneto, actually. Like, you can so tell how evil this dude is. So, yeah, you can just so tell he really hates mutants, and he really hates them. So, yeah. And you can so tell that he does not love his son. Like, his son, like, is a mutant. That's the main reason why he doesn't love mutants. Because, like, I think his son being a mutant, like, really, like, killed him and like made him paralyzed, and like because throughout the whole movie Jason's like paralyzed in a wheelchair and he can't even move or talk, but he can like do it in his telepathy though. So yeah, and that's what really made him hate mutants. And then like I think in the movie it was implied that his son accidentally, or I think his son like killed Stryker's wife. So yeah, that was another reason too. So yeah, just like mutation really ruined his life. So yeah, and that was a really cool reason too, for him to hate mutants. So yeah, but like it was just really cool how his own son was a mutant, but he still hated him. So yeah, and he just used his son just to kill all the other mutants. So yeah, and that was just really cool. That was just a really cool plan for a bad guy to do, to kill all the ones with power. So yeah, Stryker was just really compelling in this movie, and all the scenes with him and Logan were really compelling and gave us so much emotion. So yeah, to both these characters. So yeah, and he has some really clever line delivery in this movie. So yeah, is there anything else I should say about Stryker? Yeah, just all the scenes with him with the X-Men are just really cool too. Like him like talking with the X-Men were just really cool. So yeah. He's not much of a fighter. He has a lot of people fight for him, like his SWAT team fight for him, and he has like his partner who is a mutant fight for him. So yeah, his partner he kind of gives a little bit of care for, but he still tortures her by the acid thing in the neck. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, just all the scenes with him. He doesn't really have he doesn't have any action sequences, but just him like tricking the mutants and all of that were just really cool. So yeah, and I think that's actually better. Actually, fighting with smartness and having other people fight for you, and just like having them like fight like but inside. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like fighting with your feelings, I think. So yeah, it just was really cool. Just yeah. But like the X-Men actually do fight him, but he's it's really hard for him to fight back. So yeah, but like yeah, all the scenes were just really cool. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, Jean Grey was also really cool in this movie too. Like all the scenes with her and Storm were really cool, and like all the scenes with her and Logan, like I said, and she's still dating Cyclops in this movie, and that's still really cool. So yeah, but like I love the scenes where her and Logan fall in love, and she's like, "Don't make me do this," and he's like, Do what? This. So yeah, and then he's like telling her, she's telling him like, I still love Cyclops and all of that. So yeah, that scene was really cool. So yeah, and like she was still really cool with her telepathic, I mean with her telekinesis power. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Yeah, just she was really cool. She didn't have much to do. She actually did have a lot to do, but not as much as Logan and Professor X and all of them. So yeah. But she was still really cool in this movie. Yeah, all the scenes with her and Nightcrawler were really cool too. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, she had a lot of emotion with this movie too. Yeah, it's like really a lot of emotion. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? What was I thinking? What was I just thinking? Oh yeah, just she really had a lot of really good line delivery. Just she really brought like a lot of like tension to the movie. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? I think that's it about Jean Grey. So yeah, and then we go to Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was really cool in this movie. I actually really enjoyed Nightcrawler in this movie. To a lot of people found him annoying. People found him as like the Jar Jar Binks to X-Men, and I'm like, what? How do you guys think that? He's not annoying at all. He's actually really cool. Actually, I actually really like Nightcrawler in this movie. He's really dope actually, and to this day, it just still shocks me that Alan Cumming plays Nightcrawler in this movie. I swear, the makeup work they used for Nightcrawler was amazing. Like, it was mind-blowing, the makeup work they used on him. So, yeah, it just was a really clever makeup. Like, you do not feel like you're seeing Alan Cumming on screen at all. You feel like you're seeing an actual Blue Devil on screen, and that is really cool. So, yeah, I can't believe that the Floop dude from Spy Kids plays Nightcrawler. So, yeah. But yeah, I just still can't believe that. He doesn't even sound like him either. So yeah, Alan Cumming definitely did such an amazing job with Nightcrawler in this movie. So yeah, and for some reason they didn't bring him back in The Last Stand. But that would have been really cool, but they didn't bring him back for some reason. So yeah, but like he was still really cool. Like all the scenes, like what he can do is like he can teleport. Like he can teleport like from place to place, and that's really cool. So yeah, that was just really cool. Like all the scenes with him fighting are just really dope. He has a really dope opening scene in the White House where he just like knocks out all these people in the White House, and that scene was just really cool. And the music in that scene was so badass in that scene. So yeah. And like yeah, he had a really clever character. Like I love how like he always worshipped the Lord. Like he was living in this abandoned church, but he loved the Lord, and like he had a lot of scars around him, and he's like, each scar is to represent each sin I've done a lot. So yeah, and that was really cool. And then what was I thinking? Oh yeah, just Nightcrawler with the as a Christian was really cool, and just him like teleporting. Like I love the scenes where like he doesn't know like the full thing about his teleporting powers. Like he's like, I don't know if I can go in there. If I go in there, it'd be like I'm afraid I might teleport into the wall and all of that. So yeah, those scenes are really cool too. And I love all the scenes with him and Jean and Storm. All the scenes were really cool with just them three. So yeah, it was just them three for the end of the first act and all of the second act, I think. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, and yeah, he brought a lot of emotion to this movie, and yeah. Oh, is there anything else I should say about him? Yeah, I just really love how, like, he's also really scared of humans, too, because, like, he was once a victim to Stryker. Like he used to like be in the same place where Stryker would keep all the mutants, and he would get tortured. So like from there, that really made him afraid of humans. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, that was just really cool. He was afraid of humans. Like when Storm and Jean first went in, he thought they were humans, but then they showed that they were mutants, and he was just like, okay, I know what you guys are. And so yeah, that scene was really cool. And yeah, just when I really like how he joins the end battle. Him in the end battle was really cool too. So yeah. Is there anything else about Nightcrawler? I think that's it about Nightcrawler. Yeah, Nightcrawler, he was a really cool new character. So yeah. And then there's Iceman. in this movie, Iceman and Rogue are dating. In the first one, I think they were, I don't think they were dating in the first one, but here they're dating, and their relationship was actually really cool. Actually, I actually really liked their relationship in this movie. You actually really buy into their relationship. Actually, like they can't kiss at all. Like they can't kiss at all or touch each other, because like Rogue can, if she touches him, she can most likely kill him. So yeah, and that was really cool to have a relationship be like that. So yeah, that was really cool. And like whenever like he always wants to kiss her, but then she's like, no, I can't. And then, like, I love this scene where, like, when that happens, and then, like, a kid in the back just, like, draws a picture of, like, when they kiss, like, Iceman's, like, hair will go up. So, yeah, that scene was really funny. Let me think. Yeah, just, their relationship was just really cool, and, yeah, just, you can really tell they really loved each other, but, like, they just hated, like, how they couldn't kiss and all of that. So, yeah. And they just had a lot of chemistry with each other, so, yeah. And then, yeah, I love all the scenes with him and Logan, like him and Logan talking. I was talking about this when I was talking about Logan. Yeah, yeah, just all those scenes were really cool too. So yeah, and I love how like was this him? Yeah, it was him. Where like Iceman he has a home, and like in his home like he has his parents and like a little brother. And yeah, but like his parents are so afraid that he's a mutant and all that they send him to Xavier School. But like once he comes back to his home, like they're really scared of it. They're really scared of the mutants and all of that. And they're just like really concerned. They're just like, have you ever tried not being a mutant? So yeah, that scene had a lot of emotion in it, with them just being scared of mutants, and that shows how much humans are scared of mutants. So yeah, and that scene was just really emotional. So yeah, and then just like the Iceman's little brother being so mad that he just walks out of the room and calls the police. So yeah, that scene was really emotional. I think in that scene he was either jealous or I think he was jealous in that scene that he had mutant powers, or he was just scared. I don't know, but like he was either jealous or scared, but I think he was mostly scared. So yeah, let me think. What else was I thinking? So yeah, that scene definitely had a lot of emotion in it. So yeah, Iceman definitely was a really cool character in here. It's just like how like he loves his parents, but his parents don't know how to love him. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? About Iceman. So yeah, Iceman had a lot of cool action scenes. Like all the scenes with him in action were really cool too. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, just with him using his ice powers were really cool. So yeah, and then we go to Rogue. Rogue was also a really cool character in this movie too. Now Rogue, she doesn't have as much as character development as in the first one, but she was still really cool in this movie. And she had a different look with her hair being white because of the event of the first one. So yeah, and like she was still really cool in this movie. Like all the scenes with her and Iceman were just really emotional, like I said, and like she has a lot of chemistry with Logan too, which was really cool. So yeah, and yeah, she's just still really scared of herself, like with her like being able to touch someone but she'll hurt them. So yeah, so yeah, those scenes were really cool too. But she didn't really have much character development as in the first one, but she still had a lot of great moments in here. Let me think. I think that's it about Rogue. She didn't really have much in this movie. She was still really cool. Let's think. Who does is there anything else I should say? Oh yeah, there's this other new character. I think it was in the first one, but very briefly, or I don't know if he was in the first one, but it's this new character named Pyro. He's a good man. He was in Xavier School, but like he's one of the kids that runs with Logan and Rogue and Iceman. So yeah, what he can do, he's kind of like the opposite of Iceman. Like he has fire powers. He can't make the fire, but he can attract the fire. Like he always has this lighter. When he turns it on, he can just like take the fire and make it bigger. So yeah, he was really cool too. I really liked him a lot. Just like him, he was kind of evil actually. Like you can see a lot of evil themes to him. Like you can see that like this dude actually belongs in the evil side. So yeah, cause like this dude, you can actually see how crazy he is at times. So well, not crazy, but just evil. So yeah, but like this scene was really dope with when Iceman's little brother calls the police and they get there, and then Pyro uses the fire from his lighter and then just burns all the police cars and all the police, and that scene was just really really cool. So yeah, that scene was really raises your anxiety and just really cool. So yeah, yeah, just all the from there you can see that he is really corrupted. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, even when he's with Logan and all of them, you can still see when he turns on his lighter and turns it off. You can see that he just really like he thinks that he's the most dangerous out of all of them, but he does not want to feel that. Like, he wants to be free. Like, he wants to know more about his power and all of that. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, and then like later on, Pyro meets Magneto, like when Magneto like meets up with them, and Magneto thinks that his powers are really good, that he's like a god and all of that, and he's like, don't let anyone tell you no different. So yeah, and then from there, that really makes Pyro like think, wow, this dude really knows a lot about me, and that makes him want to go into his side, and that was really really cool. So yeah, him and Magneto definitely had a lot of chemistry in that scene. Let me think. Is there anything else about Pyro? Yeah, Pyro was just a really cool character. Just, yeah, you can really tell he's just really serious all the time. He is not sweet at all. He's not one of those people that loves to interact. He's really, really too much to himself, and he's not that sweet. So, yeah, he was a really cool character. So, yeah, he kind of reminded me of me at times. Because me in public and with a lot of people, I mostly just, like, I don't play with lighters, but I'm just more to the corner, just by myself, just thinking about life and just like not talking to anyone. So yeah, that's basically me all the time. So yeah, I think that's all about Pyro. He was really cool, and then we get to Storm. Just like in the first one, Storm didn't really have much to do, but she was still really, really cool. She definitely had a lot of cool moments in here. Like, all the scenes with her in action were really cool, and she had a lot of chemistry with Nightcrawler. Like, her and Nightcrawler, I think, had the strongest not the strongest, but like, they definitely had Nightcrawler definitely had the most chemistry with Storm. Actually, that's what I meant to say. With Storm was the one Nightcrawler would definitely connect with, and that was really cool. Actually, that Storm and Nightcrawler would connect with each other a lot. And yeah, those things were really cool with just them connecting with each other, and him like teleporting her everywhere, and him having her like him teleporting her like to certain places in the end battle. So yeah, they definitely had a lot of chemistry. So yeah, and he was the only one that he told about his scars. So she was the only one he told about his scars. So yeah, I mistook it there. So yeah. So yeah, she definitely had a lot of chemistry with Nightcrawler. So that was a big improvement from the first, because in the first I don't think she had much of any chemistry with any of the characters. So yeah, so she was still really cool in this movie. Let me see.
Hey, we're gonna go get water.
Let me think. And then there's Cyclops. Now, Cyclops in this movie, he was still really cool, but, like, after a really long time, like, we saw him in the end of the first act. Okay. Okay, Mom.
We're gonna go get water.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah. As I was saying, Cyclops, we only see him in the end of the first act, but we don't even see him again. I think it was in the beginning of the second act, actually. We don't see him from the beginning of the second act. We don't even see him until like the final battle, which I thought was actually not really investing all that much. Like, we could have had a lot more with Cyclops throughout the whole second act, like, because in the end battle you see that Cyclops is corrupted, that like he's kind of corrupted a little bit, but we should have seen like how he got corrupted in the second act. So yeah, but Cyclops could have had a bit more to do with this movie. He was still really cool with all the scenes he was in. Yeah, all the scenes with him and Jean were still really cool. All the scenes with him and Professor were really cool. Before they were able to capture the Professor, Cyclops was with him, but then they captured Cyclops along. So yeah, and that was really cool how he just stuck with the Professor throughout most of the movie.
Getting water, you and me.
So yeah, Cyclops was pretty good in this movie. Just could have been a bit more with him. So yeah. And then we go to Mystique. Mystique in this movie had a little bit of a story arc in it, with her like finding out what Stryker's doing, and then like her like trying to like figure out the plan and all of that, and just and all those scenes were really cool. Like the scene where she turned into the custodian. That scene was really funny, where she turned into the custodian, and then she passes by the custodian, and then the custodian's just like, okay, I just saw myself. That scene was really funny. And then and then there's a scene where she turns into this hot lady, and then like she's making out with the fat dude in in the bathroom, and then she makes him pass out, and then she put the shot in on his butt or something. So yeah. So yeah, and then like all those things are really cool, and then when she meets up with Magneto again was really cool. So yeah, and she was still really cool. Like all the action sequences with her were still really cool. So yeah, like the scene in the end where like she was fighting all those people in the room, and then she gets out of the door barely, and then while she gets out of the door, you can see that her flicking them off. So yeah, and then yeah, that scene was just really cool. So yeah, Mystique, and there was a scene where Mystique tricks Logan kind of, but I won't get into it if you haven't seen the movie, but that scene was really cool too. So yeah, and what was I gonna say? Yeah, Mystique was still really cool in this movie. So yeah, just yeah, all the action sequences of her were just really cool. So yeah, and then we go to this. She was sort of a minor character, but she was Lady Deathstrike. Stryker's mutant partner. She didn't have a story arc at all. She was just there for style and action and like, you know, to make this movie cool. So yeah, but she was still really cool in this movie, like really really cool. Like what her power is like her nails can turn into some really 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 large sharp knives. So yeah. And then, like, there was a scene where her and Logan fight, and that scene was awesome. I think that might have been my favorite scene in the entire movie. I think that might be one of my favorite X-Men fights, actually. Lady Deathstrike versus Logan. So, yeah, that scene was really cool. The camera work in that scene was really cool. Just, yeah, them, like, Logan just, like, fighting another person with knife power. So, yeah, that scene was just really cool. So, yeah. Let me think. So yeah, Lady Deathstrike was pretty cool too. So yeah, and I think that's all the characters in the movie. So yeah, all the characters in the movie were really good. So yeah, and then we go to the scenery. The scenery to this movie was actually really really cool. Actually, yeah, a lot of those places they went to looked really real actually, and it all looked really real. So yeah, it's a little bit of the green screen in the beginning kind of looked a bit noticeable, but it was still not. But from there, like, the green screen really improves more. So, yeah, just a lot of the green screen and the scenery still looked really cool in this movie. So, yeah. And then, yeah, all the actors, once again, still do such an amazing job in this movie. So, yeah, they all are still really cool. So, yeah. And then, the soundtrack to this movie, holy shit. This movie actually gave us an X-Men theme. Like a really cool, catchy X-Men theme. So, yeah, and that was really cool. The X-Men theme to this movie was really cool. They should have brought this in the first movie, actually. They should have introduced this right in the first movie. That would have been really cool, actually. But I don't know why they didn't do this theme for the first one. So, yeah, but it would have been cool if the first one had this theme. But like this theme was really cool. It goes dun 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 dun. Okay, enough. Okay, so yeah, that music's just really catchy. So yeah, and a lot of the other music too in this movie was still really cool. Like the darker music in this movie was really cool too. So yeah, So yeah, just this soundtrack really improved from the first one. So yeah, and this movie still had a lot of comic relief, like in the first one, and it all still worked really well. So yeah, a lot of this movie is really funny at times. So yeah, and then let me think. Yeah, the pacing to this movie is pretty good, but this movie is 2 hours and 13 minutes. But you do feel its runtime though. Like you actually do feel this runtime. It actually does feel a lot more longer than its actual runtime, but that's not a bad thing. It still is paced really, really well. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, Bryan Singer definitely had more of a heart with making this movie than he did in the first one. So yeah, you can really tell he wanted to make this better than the first one, and he succeeded. So yeah, so Bryan Singer definitely still had such an amazing heart with making these movies. So yeah. And then, let me think. Yeah, all the action was still amazing in this movie. So, yeah. This movie was very suspenseful, too, at times. And it all really worked. So, yeah. I don't think I have any flaws with this movie, actually. I don't really think I have any flaws, actually. Let me think of a flaw I have with this movie. I don't think I have any flaws, actually. My only flaw with it is just Cyclops. But I think that's really it. But, yeah, I think that's the only major flaw. That's the only little flaw I have with this movie. I think this movie's flawless, actually. So yeah, this movie is really, really good. So yeah, I just have no flaws with this movie, actually. So yeah, Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? I should talk about in this movie. Yeah, the end battle was amazing. Actually, like the end battle, I love the end battle in this movie a lot. It is so awesome. There a lot of emotion goes in the end battle, and a lot of action. The action is just really amazing, and it really raises your anxiety so many times in the end. Just the action and the tension and the drama in the end battle really was really cool. So yeah. Let me think. This was just a perfect ending for a sequel to this for X-Men. So yeah, it just was really cool. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Yeah, I thought this movie was a lot more darker than the first one too, and that was another improvement too. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? I think that's it actually. So yeah, this movie is really cool. Might be my top 3 favorite X-Men movies. So yeah, to rate this movie, I'll rate it an A+. Yeah, this movie definitely gets an A+ for me. So yeah, I just really love this movie. So yeah, bye and see you all in the next review.